My name is Amy Brandwein, and I'm the chef and owner of Centrolina here in the middle of City Center, DC. And also I have my sister restaurant, Piccolina, that's across the alley. So I'm a local. I was born and raised in Arlington, Virginia. And I started cooking, I think, when I was about third grade, so around 8 years old. I would just, after school, kind of play around and open the cookbooks that were available at that time, which was, I think it was the Betty Crocker cookbook. And I would just open the pages and see if there was anything that I could make that I had the ingredients for. And so that was sort of how I started. My father is a home gardener, an urban farmer, and loves to cook. So kind of the idea of having vegetables in your backyard was kind of informative and instructive too. So I opened Centrolina in June of 2015. So, I had been cooking in DC for quite a while, about 15 years. And the time right immediately prior to opening the restaurant, I had spent formulating the business and raising the capital and doing consulting. So I started my own consulting business while I was doing all these things because I didn't want to be employed, working for a person while I was pursuing, my own project, basically. So I worked in many different restaurants. I started my career out at Galileo, which is a landmark Italian restaurant. I spent about, 6-8 years there, became the executive chef, and then I opened another Italian restaurant, Baby Trattoria. In Arlington, I moved to the Ritz-Carlton and opened a restaurant for them in their Arlington location, and then I took a job as the creator and the executive chef of Casa Nona, which was under the BLT restaurant group. And so we opened that restaurant in Depot Circle. I opened one in New York, and then right before I came on board here, I helped my old boss, Bronson. We opened a restaurant named Alba, which is only a mile or so from here. So, and then I came here. I really love the windows here and the sunlight, and so my entire goal was to bring a style of food Italian style of food to DC that quite frankly had not been done before because people were so concerned about all the frou-frou elements of a fine dining restaurant, and a lot of times the products, the ingredients, the freshness of the ingredients, the authenticity of what those things are, it gets lost in the food and in all the servers running around and the Barolo and whatever else is going on around you. So I felt like I wanted to create an environment where the food was really a star, and the light would enhance what I was trying to do. And so I purposely created a space that would focus the diner on the plate of food as opposed to what was going on around them. I mean, my process is very much kind of bohemian in nature. It's not scripted. So I like to buy ingredients every week and then come about with a plan of what I'm going to do with them. And so very much it's a development of ingredients. So my approach is ingredient based. I look at products. I'm very visual. So I go in the refrigerator, see all the things that came in from the farm, and formulate a list of what I have, and then I tick off, start to play around with ingredients in my head and see what might be interesting flavor profiles. And then that's sort of like the artistic creative development process. And so it's literally looking at ingredients and imagining in my head what these might taste like, or how they can accentuate each other, or how the colors that are in the ingredients, how they might play off into one another. And so when I feel like I've got a flavor affinity, and then things that I think excite me, then I set about trying to figure out how to put it together. So that's where the construction of the dish comes in. So there's the flavor profiles and then the construction, in which I try to create something that is exciting and visually appealing, and then at the same time the flavors of it are coming through in the most clear, unhampered way. So I try to strip away all the bullshit, basically, and get to the heart of the ingredients and make sure that the ingredients are always the focus of the plate, meaning that you have 3 or 4 different things that you're looking at, a very stark plate, instead of having a lot of different little things that you're playing with and not really having like a soul of whatever it is that you're cooking. I like to concentrate people's emotions on the soul of the dish, the flavor of the dish. I spent about 5.5 years here with no art of any kind on the wall because I was very concerned about what that art might be, because I wanted it to be authentic, and I wasn't sure where I wanted to start. I was like not wanting to buy art just to put it on the wall. I wanted some process to it, because I think what you show is very instrumental. It's very illustrative of your personality, and it tells a lot about you, what you've picked to put on the wall. And so I couldn't decide. Nothing was speaking to me at that time. Plus, I was really busy, so I went 5.5 years without anything on the wall. Well, I have one picture, one photograph of a drop of rub, but beyond that, I had nothing. So I was quite frustrated with the I was quite frustrated because it was almost becoming like a phobia. So, which is odd, but and so I met some friends through Transformers that I've been helping them with doing some of their events and things like that. My brother is an artist, so he has art training at the University of Virginia Commonwealth University, and he went on, and he's huge in the arts, and now he works in movies, But so I was very aware of the struggles of young artists, and how hard it is to even sell one piece, right? So I felt that it was sort of like my calling and my connection to my brother in some ways to become more involved with Transformers, and then I started to look at the art, not in a gallery or anything like that, because I really didn't want to go to a gallery to buy art. It seemed like very not natural to me. So I was just, in the pandemic, I was just poking around, and I saw the flat file, and I said, oh, this is really cool. You can look at art in the privacy of your own home and kind of like see what speaks to you, and so that's how I started the process, and I really believe in supporting young artists, young in the profession, I should say, maybe that don't have, I can't afford art that has huge name recognition. I can't, but on the same token, like, it's like me, like, I'm a chef, and some of the dishes that I did a long time ago are now all of a sudden seen in a different lens because I'm very successful, and so, but it's the same dish, right? But I wasn't getting the critical attention for it at that time. So, because I didn't have the name recognition to go along with it. So, so I think of art in the same way. So, how do you define what an excellent piece of art is? I asked my brother this because I was showing him the things that I bought, and I was like trying to get his approval. I was like, what do you think? And he's like, I said, what do you think? Is this, do you think this stuff's good? The things that I liked, he's like, I think it's whatever you like. The issue is now, I'm like a beginning art collector, so like I don't know what to do when I have more art than I have walls, because I don't, then what do I do? You know, so these are all the things that I've been thinking about, yeah. You know, it reminds me of like my father lived in upstate Michigan on the lake, you know, huge, like Lake Huron. And so the piece reminds me of looking out from the cabin to just endless water, you know, and then beautiful. And then, you know, the shape of it, where it's kind of two-toned, it reminds me of Rothko, which I love. So it's a rectangular kind of like, you know, change in shape and color, and so it's sort of like, it really reminded me of looking at the water at my parents' house, and also like, you know, and there's a little burst of it looks like a meteor or something, and that's like kind of happy, and it's like energy. So like the contrast between the calm, the water, and the energy is cool. So I like that. Afra Atkins, you know, she has a perfect picture of bologna over there, and it's pink. And I'm like, what are the chances that there's a stick of butter with rhinestones on it and the perfect pink? And like, what are the chances of all this? You know, I was shocked when I looked at the flat file. I was like, oh my goodness gracious, like this has to be in the restaurant, you know? And then I love Margaret Backey, a couple of them, but I love the Elephant Sisters. It makes me happy. And then she carries home with her, I understand it's a bunch of different sketches, but I find it very funny because there's a woman that looks like she had a rough night, and she's like upside down on a snail. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with it, but I don't have the answers for it, and I'm not sure I really want to, but I just find the whole thing kind of hilarious, you know? It's sort of like a parody on, you know, I don't know, models or something like that. I'm not sure, but for me, we had a really strong, super fast start, you know, and I see it becoming like a finer restaurant probably, meaning like we're fine-tuning things. I hope I'm in a place where I can continue to create beautiful food. I like to do it, and that's the space that I want to be in personally, is creating the food, and having it takes a certain amount of calm and space to do it. You know, I have to have time to do that. So I'm hoping that I will be able to, you know, spend more time in that zone, less time operationally running it, and you know, I think my talents are obviously running the restaurant too, but more so in creating, you know. So I see, you know, we're already very successful. I just want to see us continue to become more and more prosperous, and I'd like to be, you know, there's always outlets that you want to be recognized in, so I hope that eventually they'll understand that, you know, women can be recognized on the big stage too. It seems like that's still a struggle, so I'd like to see that change.